Sticky notepads everywhere. Hey guys, come on in, come on in. What's up? I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I'm running behind. Not that I have a set time, it's just that I try and be here at 9:30 unless I got meetings. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Lead Her Morning Show. So good morning, welcome to the Lead Her Morning Show, where we talk about leadership, healing, self-love, discipline. Hey, Miss Icy, discipline and becoming the woman we are called to be. This is your time to reset your mind, grow, reflect, and start your day with intentions. I teach you about that. So if you're here, leave a comment, say good morning, tell me where you're watching from, and let's get into it. So for the past week, even though I know we midweek, but so from last week and up till now, what we talked about walking in purpose, overcoming fear, and stop comparing yourself. You are capable, speaking up for yourself, and becoming that woman. We talked about becoming that woman yesterday, right? So this is a leadership course. I get a lot of men that come in here, and it's fine, you know, as long as you're not disrespectful, because I'm teaching a leadership course. So just take the she and put the he, and it still works. But this is a Lead Her for Women morning show, teaching you how to step into your purpose. What's up, Diamond Teal? Welcome in. Good morning. Hey, Juan. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, I try and catch you guys. If you follow, I try and give you your shout out. I try and let you guys know that, hey, I am here. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So our weekly reflection to go over everything that we've talked about to this point. What's up, Juan? Let's talk about it. So I taught this course right here that I'm about to teach today. I taught it on Saturday because I thought I was going to be out all week, but I'm not. So I'm here. So let's talk about it. So let's look at how much you've grown, right? Just from the classes that you've been here and you listened to and you've watched, Walking in Purpose, Overcoming Fear. You know, stop comparing yourself. The things we learned about you are capable, how to speak up for yourself. And we also about yesterday, becoming that woman, learning how to step into that and become that woman. You are her. You that chick, and you need to understand that you that chick, okay? I don't know what's going on with my light. Let's see if I can get some light going on here. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Because, let me see. Let me see what I got. Hold on. I think this lightened me up, you know, because it's so dark up in here. Hey, nice, Nicole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, I'm getting to the point. So look at how much you've grown. Look where you came from. How much you've grown. It's easy to focus on what's not done yet. It is so easy to do that. What's not done yet, right? You might think, I still have a long way to go. I'm not where I want to be. I need to do more, you know, but take a moment and really reflect. Reflect on, let's look at this. How you think now versus before. Before you attended the Walking in Purpose, Overcoming Fear, Stop Comparing Yourself, You Are Capable, Speak Up for Yourself, Becoming That Woman. Before you attended that course. Now let me know if this is just too much light. Now I tried to brighten it up on the camera and then brighten it up in here. Child, I don't know. Listen, before you even found out about those courses, how do you think now? Because we pointed out a lot of things that we didn't know was toxic, right? We pointed out a lot of things that was survival mode that we knew nothing about. We knew nothing about this stuff. We didn't know that, oh, okay, I thought that was good. I thought saying that taking the high road was such a high vibrational thing to do. And we learned, and I taught you that that's the same way as it's like that step up from survival mode. You ain't in the gutter hood no more survival. You in that I made it out the hood, but I'm still in survival mode. You're not in healing. That's not a healed move. I know the enemy throw things out there, make it a trend and make us want to follow it because it sounds so good. It sounds like, okay, because it's better than what you knew before. But just always know there's more. If you keep searching inside of you, you'll find that there's more and there's higher grounds for that. So let's talk about that. So when people say, take the high road, I'm taking a high road. You could take the low road. They don't mean you're doing nothing better, because what you did was just said, what? I accept your bad behavior. Keep throwing it at me. I'm not going to react. No. You're not taking no roads. You're going to address it in a healthy mindset. You're not going to address it by reacting. You're going to address it by responding. You create boundaries. You will never talk to me that way. You will never do that. Matter of fact, since you're so disrespectful, I'm going to disconnect myself from this group. And then what they going to say? So we don't want you here no way. Of course the enemy don't want you there. You got too much light going on, baby. You got too much light. Of course that's the only combat that they can come with. But trust me, when the light disconnect from the dysfunction, baby, they act like they'll get on social media. They'll do all these things. Look at me. I'm doing this. I'm so much better. Hey, hey, hey. You see me. They do all that. But on the inside, baby, it's killing them that you are disconnected from them. They have no more energy now. What's another thing? Let's reflect on how you respond now versus then. You've had homework to look and reflect and say, I'm going to handle situations then. The habits you've improved. What have you improved since our class? Since, we've been discussing things. Since I've been doing a morning show. The discipline you're building because you're putting you first, right? The things you will no longer tolerate. We talked about that yesterday, tolerating. I don't tolerate bad behavior. If I don't tolerate it from my own kids, if I don't tolerate it from my own little puppy, what make you think I'm going to tolerate it from you? See, in survival mode, I tolerated it from you all the time. I was just like, hey, yeah, I'm going to take the high road. Yeah, I'm just a good person, but whatever. I'm not even going to entertain that. Say what you want. No, you don't say what you want. And no, I'm not going to entertain it on your level, but I'm going to entertain it like a grown-ass woman. And we're going to have a conversation about this thing, meaning that you're going to create boundaries because you will never disrespect me like that again. And you don't have to be aggressive when you say it. I'm just talking, right? But you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to go and, react and do all mink and all that. You don't have to do that. But what you can do is put your foot down because this is where I live every day. This is my body. This is where I live every day. This is my world. This is my mind. This is where my thoughts live every day. How dare you come over into my house and rearrange the furniture in my head, my thoughts, to make me feel less than, or I don't have the self-worth. How dare you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Carry on. No. You got to go. You can't bring your bags over here, okay? Because it look good over here. It feel good over here. Baby, it looks so good. It's so clean over here. I don't smell no roaches or nothing. Do you understand? It's good over here. So you don't allow somebody to come bring their trauma and dump it on you. Those are your boundaries. That's how you respond, okay? What's another one thing? The risk you've taken, right? The risk you've taken. Look at that. Now, since you've been taking these courses, the risk you're willing to take now, you're willing to stand up for yourself. You're willing to speak up now. You're willing to take that like, all right, I got it, right? And the healing you've started. Because you chose to, good morning, Bree Stewart, because you chose to attend the Coach Nye Leadership morning show, the Lead Her morning show, because you chose, I don't care if this is your first day, I don't care if you come in and sit for 10 minutes, I don't care if you came in last week, I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, that was something new that you started. You started to do something new. See, it broke up that whole scrolling thing. You were scrolling, listening to nonsense, and you like, oh, what? This is entertaining. But however, somehow Coach Nye came across your screen. Whether you sat there for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or whether you gave it the 10-second rule, 10 seconds, you don't catch my attention, scroll. You did something different, okay? So growth is not always loud or visible, and I need you to understand that. Good morning, AJ. Growth is not always loud or visible. Sometimes growth is choosing not to react. Saying no. Being more consistent. Getting back up quicker. Being more self-aware. That's what growth look like. It's nothing loud. You want people to see that you've grown? They're not going to see that you've grown because with their physical eyes, let me tell you something about a hater, okay? Let me tell you something about the enemy. Let's call it for what it is. Something about the enemy. They will see your growth and they'll never call it out because if they call it out, that means that they have to accept it. What comes out your mouth becomes reality. So if I call it out, that means that I have to accept that's what it is. And therefore, you better than me. Oh, absolutely not. Oh, no, I'm never going to call it out. So that's why you have to understand people are not going to acknowledge your growth because then they'll have to realize that, hey, they are not where you are. You are in a higher vibration and they can't speak that language because they didn't go through the healing. You can speak their language. You can understand their next move. You know that, hey, that's hater mentality. That's messiness mentality. Okay, I don't want a part of that. But they can't speak your language. So since they can't speak your language, they just say, I ain't going there. I ain't going there because I ain't got no interpreter. So ain't no sense of me going there. I don't want to eat at that restaurant because they only speak this language. So we'll go somewhere else where they speak my language because I don't want them to mess up my order. You see, instead of them trying to learn the language of high vibration, they go ahead and kick you to the curb because then they have to acknowledge that you're better than them. So listen, it's not always loud. So growth is choosing not to react, saying no, being more consistent. That is something that you've learned since I've been teaching you guys about leadership. I've been teaching you guys about leadership almost a year now. Right? And if you've been following me, then you understand the importance of more consistent. There's nothing I can do for you. Listen, there is no book that I can sell you. I know it's people out there selling y'all book on how to get rich, how to heal, how to become a better you, how to do this, I can't sell you anything. All I can do is be the example. That's what leaders do. I lead by example. Therefore, I develop other leaders. Meaning that being consistent, if you've been following me, I've been consistent. It's not one time that I have not been consistent. I set to something and I go ahead and go through. You guys get to see the end result of that because you've been following me for a while. So you can see where I started. And I said, I am who I say I am. And I said, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And now I'm living in everything that we talked about and me working towards. I told you in the beginning, I'm the coach that's going to save the world. In order to save the world, I have to teach you how to heal. From that point all the way to where I am now, everything that I have built and every program that I've built, workshop that I've built, everything that I've done, it came from a place of where my own experience, my testimony. I can't teach you from somewhere I ain't never been. You can't go to school for these type of testimonies. Do you understand? The things that you got going on in your life, you can't go to school for that type of testimony, that type of healing. You can't go to school for that. All they can do is offer you their opinion. But a person that went through it just like you went through it, baby, you can see this is what it looked like on the other side if you continue to stay consistent with yourself. Yeah. Another thing, getting back up quicker. I taught you how to get back up quicker. Listen, we all hit the ground. We all hurt. It's been many a times that God picked me up off the floor. There was nobody else there. It's been many a times that I done went through in a battle, in a fight, scared, heart pounding. Thank you for the follow, Ann. Heart pounding and beating. Nervous, but I got to go through this fight. It's been times that my heart beating and pounding because I got to go up against this man. Because I'm a single mom raising 2 boys and they trying my son, but I got to come first. Do you understand? It's been many a times that I had to get into the pit with these grown men behind my sons. You don't think I was scared? You don't think that it was times that I just wanted to just run and hide? Let me tell you, one time, listen, y'all know I get emotional about everything. So one time my youngest son, he got into some little stuff, right? And this grown man, he's more like a bully. Like everybody else at the school kind of looked at him like, oh, well, he got loud and shut down, but not me. Baby, let me tell you what came to my mind. Remember he said, walk around the walls 7 times and then it's eventually going to fall. This is the Bible in Jericho. We'll talk about that later. And I got a pond. And I remember that whole weekend because I knew that Monday morning I needed to confront this guy. But what I need to do is I need to calm down. I need to calm down and I need to reflect because I don't need to go in there as the aggressive black woman. Even though he was a black man, I don't want to go in there and he label me that. And then they look over me because that's just how we act. So I'm hurting. I don't have nobody to call. I don't have nobody just even reaching out saying, you know what, let me handle that. I don't have that. It's just oh man, all right. When you go up there, you got it. That's not what I was expecting from their dad. I was expecting him to say, hey, you sit this one out. I got it. Even though you far away, I'm going to call. Don't you worry about it. I got it. No, none of that. And I sat and I was worried, right? And my sons, they never see me sweat, but my sons see me sweat. And he like, Mama, what's wrong? I said, because I got to challenge this guy. And I was honest. I was like, I'm a little bit afraid. I'm a little bit nervous. And I don't know how this is going to go because I've never been in this place dealing with something like this in the heal version of me. So I don't know how to deal with this. I walked around my pond. I was just walking around my pond. I think I did about 7 times. And I'm just praying. I'm like, God, give me the strength. Give me the way to handle this. Baby, when Monday morning came through, I walked through that door. Shut it all down. Matter of fact, not only are you going to listen to me, I had that person, the principal, the other assistant principal, everybody shut it down because you're going to hear me speak. Now, you're going to hear me roar, but it's not going to be in the way that you thought. See, they were already planning their attack mode against me because they thought I was going to show up in that reactive stage, in that survival mode. But what they didn't know is that's not who I am anymore. But see, you never knew her. Who you see is this. And I was able to handle that situation calm and still get to the point, shut it down. And that now don't ever disrespect me. Don't ever disrespect my boys. So it turned into what they thought, because they were already, you should have seen them. They had their notebooks, they had everything, to everybody just sitting there. And then the principal was like, "You're right. Yeah, we could have handled that better." Do you understand? So it's the moment that you relinquish, and because of my growth, and these are the things that I tell you guys, how I set up my leadership classes is from my own experiences and my own testimony. I am not the only woman that had to stand in front of a grown man and had to handle him like a man behind your kids because it's just you. I am not the only one, but I can tell you I can show you it's another way to handle it. It is hey, hero boy, welcome in. It is another way to handle things. You understand? So I didn't have to get out of my feminine energy, right, to handle him like I used to in survival mode. I was able to stay in my feminine energy. I just had to find my own power. That's what growth has looked like. That's what it looked like. So to get back up quicker, meaning that it had me down bad, but then it got me back up. I got up quicker because I said, this is, you know what? God got my back. I don't need nobody else to have my back. Don't worry about it. God got my back. Being more self-aware. I'm so much more self-aware. I acknowledge, listen, I see everything and I don't acknowledge everything to them. But I acknowledge the fact that what you're doing, right? People love to use that word finesse. Finesse. I finesse. You know me. I can finesse somebody. You know me. I could do. You don't finesse nobody, sweetheart. Come here, little dum-dum. You think you finessing. What you're doing is coming up against a person that's healed. They understand that this ain't my battle. God, that's your battle. My job is to stand here because I'm going to check the checker, right? When you heal, your job become the one. You kind of be like everybody's karma now. That's who you pretty much is, because you're healed now. And it's kind of like they come to you trying to finesse and do all these different things. You see through it, but now you have to handle it in a way of, as an example, of not reacting, but responding. Allow them to be who they are. You do what you do. Just understand of who I am and whose I am. Understand of who I am and whose I am. But you don't understand what I'm saying, and it's going over your head, and you're going to keep trying to come play with me until you lose everything. Because I no longer operate from a place of this world. I operate from a place of this world. This is where I live every day. God, when they say God don't play about me, in his world, the kingdom of God is within you. This world here, I don't play about me. So you're learning to be more self-aware. Listen, thank y'all for the like, shares, and follow. Thank you, Jackson, for the follow. Listen, I'm very appreciative about everything, okay? And if you're just coming in, we're doing just a recap of everything we learned so far, from last week up until this point. So understanding you are not where you used to be, and that matters. It's not that, thank you, heart, girl. It's not the fact of you looking for big change. I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody that's trying to heal, are they on their healing journey? I need you to put a hands up in the comment, because what I'm about to tell you is so important. People that are healing, it doesn't all happen at once. Don't expect you to just be like, oh, no, healing is hard. What's up, nobody? Listen, healing is hard. And the reason why it's hard is because you're trying to go into healing with the mindset of the survival mode. You cannot go into healing with survival mode. You have to go into healing with a blank canvas. What do you want? Listen, when they ask you at the table, what are you looking for in a man? Or we want to hire you, but what is it that you're looking for with our employee, with our organization? What is it? Everybody got to say, what is it? But you never ask one time, what is it that you want? It's not so much of what you want. The survival mode told you to lead with everything that you don't want, what you hate, with the negativity, what's bad for you, what's good. Survival mode taught you to look at the worst case scenario first. But I'm asking you, what do you want? That's what you have to ask yourself. You can't go into healing mode with he got to be this, he got to be that. I don't want nobody that's going to do this. I ain't going to want nobody that's going to do that. Listen, I did that with, so for the ones that don't know, I married my ex-husband twice. I thought maybe I was too young and we should try it again. And then we tried it again 10 years later and I realized, no, you the problem. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Same thing. Listen, when I say the same thing that happened the last time happened again, but that was a lesson for me. It had nothing to do with him. It was a lesson for me to stick to what it is that I want and not settle for the things that I think I should have. Like, well, and that's what I teach you guys. So I remember the first time I was sitting there and I was telling him everything I don't want. Everything I don't want. Or everything that I'm looking for. It didn't matter. He became all of those things. But that wasn't him. So when I finally moved with him, I got to see the real him. Well, hold on. What happened to that guy? Well, because I told him. When you tell the enemy what you want, that's what they're going to become because they want what they want. You have to remember, what do you want? Nobody's going to put you first. Everybody will always put themselves first. That man that's going to come into your life, that woman that's going to come into your life, they're putting themselves first of what do I want? You're everything that I need. You got a good job. You got money. You got yourself to. That works for me. I don't care what you want. Obviously, you want me. So I don't care if you're looking for a woman that can cook and clean. Baby, I'm looking for, you are everything that I want. Oh, you want somebody that can cook and clean? Yeah, okay. Because he's everything I want. I'm going to go in there and fix something to eat. Then when we get married, the real me going to show up. Because I put me first. I don't care nothing about you. I didn't care enough to go get a cooking class. I didn't care enough to do any of that. Right? No. So put you first. What do you want? If you're going into healing, you want to go on your healing journey, everything that you once knew, you have to be okay with not listening to any of that no more. It's okay. Your healing is not going to be once and done. Your healing is a process because you need to learn this, the hearing. The physical world, you hear this way. And that's how the enemy is going to speak to you. Now, don't get it twisted. God will talk to you, but you're going to know his voice. You have to remember this is how the enemy talks to you. When you go into healing mode, it is everything. Your whole nervous system needs to be self-regulated. You need to be calmed down in your nervous system because that's how God speaks to you. That is your discernment. So you have to learn, okay, those quirky feelings that you get, the enemy told you that, oh, when you start getting butterflies in your stomach, something wrong is going to happen. Do you understand? Everything in survival mode, it leads with wrong. But let me tell you what it happens. When you feel those butterflies in your stomach, that is God speaking to you. That is your discernment. But you got to learn this in healing. And you can't go in healing with the idea of how healing is going to turn out. You cannot go, thank you, Real, for the follow. You cannot go into healing controlling the outcome. This is a blank canvas. When you decide to heal, let me tell you what healing is. You just walked into a room and it's all padded white. Think about SpongeBob when he had to sketch himself, right? Nothing. You got the pencil. What are you going to create? Right? You create, because for you, peace means something totally different from you than the next person. Peace to you is a pond, right? Being able to sit outside in a pond, feel the breeze, see the greenery. You draw that. That's your peace, right? And then the enemy, survival mode, because healing is all about you getting back to your true authentic self, right? It is you versus you. Survival mode you and the whole you, the authentic you. So in order for you to get back to your innate nature over here, you got to draw it. And you drew the pond, you drew everything. And guess what the enemy is going to say? Because you don't know anything about healing, you're creating healing, but you know everything about survival. The enemy going to show up and say, that's not peace. That ain't healing. Peace is when you're sitting around and, you don't hear no noise out, the drama. The people ain't coming around. Thank you, Africa. But you don't hear the drama coming around. You ain't got your family coming up. But see, now the enemy just took you out of your innate nature, your canvas, and put you over into survival mode healing. This is the thing about the enemy. He will create a survival mode healing and have you think that you're healing. I told you what that looked like. Those the ones that they go through a breakup. And then they go to the gym, they go get fine, they go do this, and they want this because they want the attention, they want to look good, they want to have this. And then they get back and they may even get a podcast. They say, you know what? Let me tell you something. When it comes to men, you better get him before he gets you. You better do this before you get this. All men cheat. But I'm going to tell you what, while I was healing and when I was going through, I learned something about me. I'm never going to let a man do this. I'm never going to give this to a man. I'm never going to love a man like that. That is not healing. That's what survival mode, the enemy, when you say you want to heal, the enemy will show up and hey, this is what healing look like. And have you going on. And then guess what? We follow those podcasters with the intent of you know what? You're right. You're right, because we're all going through the same thing. But that's not healing. Healing is just like I told you. It is you versus you. Are you willing to cut away from everything and everybody, not isolate? The enemy will tell you isolate. Oh yeah, God will isolate you. God will never isolate you. I know y'all heard that. God will never isolate you. Look at the definition of isolate. Look at the definition of disconnect. God will disconnect you from this world, allowing you to see people for who they are, but disconnect the emotions that you have attached to them. But you are still able to see, and in this world to see what's going on. He will disconnect your emotions from the mess. But if he isolates you, nobody will ever see your joy, your peace, your love. They'll never get to experience a good lead her movement. They will never get to experience that leader in you. They will never get to experience the love in you. Because you're isolated. And isolation, guess what happens in isolation? Anxiety peeks his head in there and was like, oh, you know what? Let me comfort you. Depression peeks his head in there and say, okay, let me comfort you. All these things come around and attach themselves to you. So why would God isolate you and put you in a place that he know that is dry, that the enemy can come and attach his different entities into you? Come on now. But that's what the enemy will say, anything. If you notice, if something is a trend and it constantly is saying and being said and people pick it up and then they become that and then they think they heal. You want to disconnect. Even when you heal, you don't go and isolate yourself from your old friends. You don't go and cut everybody off that you once knew. Cutting off is not of God. You have to disconnect knowing that, hey, I can't change you. I have boundaries. You're not going to control me anymore. You're not going to siphon my energy anymore, because my energy, I understand now, is my currency. I don't go by the world anymore, but it's tangible. See, therefore, if my energy good, I'm going to attract everything that's for me. I don't chase a bag of bags that's going to find me. I don't go chasing anything, a blessing, because a blessing is going to find me. Any and everything that I need, my energy is good, is going to come to me. But in the moment that I decide to isolate, the enemy is able to come and cipher me into the mess. No. Understand, healing is just what I said. You versus you. You learning what is wrong. And you don't learn what's wrong. Lola, what's up? You don't learn what's wrong until what? You're triggered. That's why I'm telling you, healing is going to be a constant thing until you master you. Healing is about you mastering and rewiring your brain and mastering you. You can't master anybody else. You can't control anybody else. If I isolate, then I won't be able to find the next person. Do you understand? It's no way that I can't find the people that God have for me because I'm isolating and hiding. Of course, the enemy want me to hide. If I'm hiding, then therefore I think I'm healing. You hear people like, God isolated me and took everybody away from me. People was falling off like flies. People was doing this, and I got to see people and I start cutting people off. God said, love your neighbor. I don't never remember nowhere where it say cut people off, but you can disconnect from them by creating boundaries. You don't have to sit in the same spaces with them. But if you cut them off, then what example are you showing them? I'm a leader. I'm the coach that's going to save the world. I'm going to save the world by teaching you how to heal. I'm a leader. I develop other leaders. So if I can't develop you to see things in a different light, see you the way God see you, then what am I here for? What am I standing here for? A leader. If you're in here and you're following, I'm going to give you something. Baby, you're going to eat, and it's going to feed you for a long time because it's all about healing you. You have to learn to master this. This is where you live every day. This is where your thoughts live every day. We say this often. I want you all day, whenever you feel frustrated, this is where I live every day. This is my world. When they say you in your own world, you absolutely right. That means I'm minding my business, because if I mind my business and focus on me, I don't have to worry about, I don't have time for any nonsense. I don't have time for any chaos. And those people that think that they finessing you, those people that think that they getting over on you, let them think that. What it is you're so focused on you, you ain't got time to even pay attention to what they doing. So they thinking it's going over your head. It's just not even landing. It's not even landing because what they doing is so low vibrational. Baby, it's kind of like throwing a rock up. Baby, it's going to come back down. So stop sitting back talking about, I call back all my energy, send it back to sender. All this, it's going to go back to sender anyway because they ain't got nowhere to land. So if I'm at the bottom throwing up a rock, of course it's going to come back down. That's what low vibrational do, because I'm too high up and you can't touch me. You can't do anything to me. Baby, it's coming back to you. So don't worry about what everybody else got going on. See, when you healing, you create your canvas. What do you want your canvas to look like? You're not who you used to be. The moment that you decide you want change, you are no longer who you used to be. That is you waking up. Do you understand? No matter what, you are not where you used to be, and that matters. Know that. Believe that. That is about healing. You're not going to do it all at once. It's going to be by pieces. Baby, listen, it'll go in 3 days. Let's talk about this. The first day you feeling good. The second day you feeling good. The third day you like, okay. That fourth day you back to square one of feeling hurt again. And it's not the fact that you need to learn a lesson. People say you go through healing and it hurts so bad because you need to learn a lesson. Yeah, but let's break it down a little bit further. What is the lesson though? When people want to tell you something, what is the lesson? People that have went through or did their own healing journey, they forget that it's a part that they couldn't explain. They couldn't interpret, but they can interpret now. But one thing for sure, they know exactly how you feel. One thing for sure, when people come to me and they frustrated and they're like, I just want to heal. I want to feel better. And I give them the advice and they ain't trying to take it. I don't get mad. What it is I understand where you are. You're not understanding the words that's coming out of my mouth. You hear me talking, but you're not understanding the words. Because when I tell you, slow down, step back, what you feel like is that anxiety feeling that you have to do something. Am I doing something wrong? I feel confused. Where's God? I don't feel this. Why do I got to do this? I got to hurry. I'm so far behind. All these things are going on. And when I tell you to calm down, take a step back, what you hear is want, because you're hearing me with your ears. You're not hearing me with your nervous system. This is where God speaks to you at. Because healing is all about this. You're going to feel like you're back at square one. What is the lesson? It's not even a lesson. It's the emotion. Let me explain something. As an example that I always use, if you run into a brick wall, right, with a helmet on, you'll do it again. Because it's not much of an impact. You'll learn how to do it a different way. Maybe you'll run into it this side. It won't hurt so bad on this side. Or run into it, it won't hurt so. But at the end of the day, you won't feel the real impact. You take the helmet off. You run into that wall. You will never do it again. Matter of fact, you're gonna be walking around like this for the rest of your life. You're gonna be so careful about your head because this could happen and that can happen. And you're gonna be so like frustrated about it, right? Let me explain something to you. That's the emotion. When things come and arise, we want to heal and we ask God for healing and we want to rise up out of that. And then all of a sudden that memory come back and you like, I don't want that memory. You kind of throw it away. I'm sorry, I got my sinus. I don't know why I lift up this. I'm always lifting up the window. And you ask God, okay, God, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to feel like that anymore. Okay. Now the memory come back up. Y'all call the enemy. Oh, the enemy trying to defeat me because I ain't thought about this in years. And y'all give the enemy all this credit instead of looking at it. Okay, well, God is bringing it up because in order to heal, you need to feel that emotion. Because when you addressed that emotion last time, you addressed it in secondary emotions, meaning that they hurt your feelings. They did something that hurt your feelings so bad. You addressed it in secondary emotion because survival mode told you, don't you ever cry. Don't you ever show, your heart, wear your heart on your sleeve. Don't you ever do that. And what you did is showed up in anger. You showed up in anger, and then you said, I don't even care no more because guess what? I'm not going to deal with that. That's been happening to me all my life. Oh, well, next I'm going to go get me another man. I'm going to go get me another woman. I'm going to go do whatever. Right? That's what you said. But you need to feel it. And that's why you got in another relationship and the same thing happened. Same thing with the helmet. If you hit it this way, maybe it won't hurt so bad. So then you change the angle of it. So now, and when you sit in the emotion, when that emotion arises, this is the lesson that everybody's talking about. I'm telling you, it's the emotion. Sit in it. Give the correct emotion to that feeling. What does that make you feel? That made me feel. That hurt my feelings. So when your feelings hurt, what is the next thing that you do? What's the action behind your feelings hurting? Cry. Cry. You can't expect God to bring in peace if you're not purging. He created us to cry, to purge it out, and you won't purge it out. But you expected him to come deliver you. Come on now. That is the way you heal. That is it. That emotion that keep coming up, that one thought or that one experience, sit in it. I didn't say dwell in it. And sometimes you can't sit in it alone. You need a therapist. I'm going to say that forever and ever and ever. I had someone come on here and say, you don't need no therapist, just open up the Bible. And this is why we got a lot of nonsense running around. You can't interpret the Bible from a survival mindset, right? Because you're going to interpret it in your own understanding that works for you. Where's that going to get you? Other than you going to be a person out here breaking everybody down, right? Yes, therapy. You're going to be a person that's out here narcissistic, quoting the Bible. God said, love thy neighbor. So therefore, you can't mistreat me. And if you mistreat me, you going to hell. Do you understand? That's how you're going to interpret and deliver it. But if you sit in the emotion the correct way, that's what healing is about. Addressing the emotion, purging what used to be, changing your filter. You cannot change your filter into a clean filter until you take the old one out. But how do I take the old one out? By when God bring you, ask God for healing, when he bring the memory or when he bring whatever it is that happened to you, when he bring it forefront, sit in it. Sit in it. Ask God, what is it that you need of me in this moment? What is it that you need of me in this moment, God? Thank you, Chanel. Listen, I think I pronounced it right. That's what that's about. So healing. So stop running from your emotions. You cannot heal and run from your emotion. That's the healing that needs to be changed. Remember, these are your thoughts. Your thoughts live here every day. This is your body. This is where you live every day. This is your world. So what are you thinking? Are you going off the thoughts of the values and morals that you were raised on, right? And you trying to heal off of someone else's thoughts and rules and regulations? And is that what it is? Kenya, thank you for the follow. So you are not where you used to be, and that matters. So every little change, every day, every little thing that you do that you didn't used to do before, and you're doing it in a healthier way, that matters. This is how healing is going to work. When you acknowledge the little things, because it's a constant thing. You don't know what needs to heal until you're triggered. You've been in survival mode all your life. You are going to heal, but you don't know what needs to be healed until what? You're triggered. So stop sitting in the, are going to heal, but you don't know what needs to be healed until what? You're triggered. So stop sitting in the, give me a second. Okay, yeah, that was my, I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. Child, it'll be interrupting me all day. But listen, so stop looking for healing to look a certain way. Stop looking for healing to be this. And then stop sitting in the healing like, okay, God, what's next? Go live your life so he can tell you what's next. Listen, I'm only on the other side. I'm telling you this because I did it. Let me tell you. Matter of fact, let me be so real and honest with y'all. When I went through my dark night of the soul, right? That dark night of the soul is just you versus you. When I decided to heal and go on my healing journey, let me explain to you everything that happened, right? This is when the enemies show up. Because when you don't know things, you'll believe anything. And I learned that free will is something totally different. It's totally different from what the people that have been telling me. So I'm going through and I'm going through all of a sudden. Now I'm learning about all these different deities, right? I'm learning about everybody saying this type of God and that type of God. So if you on the healing journey, I already know that you're going through this. I already know you're going through it. So listen, you ain't got to tell me, oh my God, you ain't got to say none of that. Do you understand? The real healing journey is when you cleanse yourself of everything that you once knew. So therefore, it goes for your God and everything. All of a sudden, you start hearing about these different gods and you're like, wait a minute, the God of water, wait a minute. Now you went to the spirituality of trying to figure out, okay, let's get away from the religion. Let me focus on the spirituality. Now, I believe in God, but now you're starting to question things because everything shows up. When the enemy see that you have disconnected from this world and stepped into this world, right? Individuality, understanding that you're trying to figure things out, he will throw anything. That's why you start hearing about these different goddess and all these different things. And then you start wanting to learn more. And then I got real curious. I want to learn more and I want to learn more. And before I knew it, next thing you know, I get a tarot reading that come on my page. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is interesting because it matches me. Wait a minute, now I'm flooded with tarot on my page. And I'm constantly, now I'm indulged looking like, wait a minute, wait, is this? Now I want to know, wait a minute. Now everything making sense to me. Right now, everything I'm looking at, okay, wait a minute. I ain't never seen the grass before. I ain't never seen the grass looked at the green. Wait a minute. When these birds, now I got hawks following me. Now I'm looking at everything. And the reason why, because you're opening yourself up to everything. This is where your free will kick in. Who will you choose? And that's why a lot of people in the healing journey fall in the void or they get disconnected and they go on their own path because this is their free will. And if you're not willing to understand, and what I had to do is I'm like, okay, I had to look at where I came from. God, when I was younger, I used to pray to God. When I was younger, I used to, okay, Jesus, God, he was there for me then, so why wouldn't he be here for me now? That was the free will. What am I going to choose? What God and where am I going to go? I chose to stay with the God I am, right? It just is what it is. Because I know that that's who you were from day one to me. So I had to get away from everything that was flooding me, right? I had to get away from all that. Because that's the whole purpose of healing, is getting you back to you, who you are. What do you believe? What do you want? You can't go in and be mad at God I am, right? You can't be mad at him because you chose to pray to Oshun, right? You chose to pray. That's what you chose. And you pray to that. You pray to her. You pray to whatever deity that you want to pray to. And you do that. But don't expect the miracles of God I am to come into your life. If you're satisfied with that God, then you, lowercase g God, then you do that. But don't come over here. What's up, Hankman? Listen, I am hoping that you and the family are having great. Yes, we are. And I hope that you're coping and coming through. Okay. Listen, you can't expect things of this God from there. Let's take it back. Let's go to the book of Daniel. When, all the kings, they all had their lowercase g God. They prayed to him and prayed to him. Daniel was the example. Daniel was the example of what the true living God is and how he operates. Nebuchadnezzar said, hey, all y'all, now bring my astronomers, bring this one, bring that one, bring my magicians, bring them all, and I need you to interpret this dream. But hold on, time out. I need you to tell me what I dreamed first because I need to know if it's real. Well, we can't do that. We not God. We'll call on your God then. Call on your God. Why couldn't they call on their God to interpret something from the God I am? Why? Because God I am is everything and everybody. Listen, whatever. Let's get into it. But it was through Daniel. It was through Daniel, because let's look at Daniel as a healed man. Daniel came in. He did not react. He did not say, wait a minute, I can't do that, because he know he can't do it on his own. But what he did do, he did respond, and he said, okay, give me some time. Let me take this back. Me and my homeboys, we got to figure this out. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, yo, meet me in the tent. Meet me in the tent. Meet me upstairs. Meet me in the upper room, bro. We got to do some praying. We got to figure this out. We got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. Because of the fact, the only way we can figure it out, we know what we need to do. Two or more come together, boom. Anyway, God showed him what dream he gave Nebuchadnezzar, right? He showed him, and then on top of that, he interpreted. And that was it. Right? That was it. So it's got to be, you have to be the one that's going to stand out. Daniel came into this culture and he was left alone. He came into this culture, but he was one man standing. That is the one that God has chosen in that family to be the curse breaker that's going to be amongst everybody else, but you're going to know the truth. Whenever you decide to step away and stand on truth and find truth, the enemy will come to you. So the free will is, who are you going to choose once you walk into that you versus you, when you decide to step into, okay, step out of that matrix and step into your innate nature. Who are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? That determines your future, but that's a whole nother story, okay? So if you never pause to recognize your growth, you will always feel behind. So let's get into number 2. Confidence comes from growth. Confidence comes from growth. Pop Hood, what up? A lot of people are waiting to feel confident before they take action. Listen, I don't know if my, hold on, let me see something. I just don't want to be screaming in the mic. I'm sorry, you guys, if I am. Confidence comes from growth. A lot of people are waiting to feel confident before they take action. Now, we've been talking about this. Confidence does not come before start, right? There's confidence. You have to have that first, right? That's what they think. I got to be confident before I get on that stage. No, you're never going to get on stage. You're never going to feel comfortable. You're going to be that one every time when that person get off the stage, like, man, I should have done that. Listen, for years, I would train to compete. That was it. I stayed in the gym because I trained to compete, because one day I'm just going to do it. And then I don't have to go crazy trying to, fine tune myself. I probably would just have to, tighten up in certain areas, maybe some weeks before, maybe a month before, and then just dehydrate, because my body stayed that tight. That's how tight my body was. I stayed in the gym. But every time it was time to sign up, every time it was time they opened it up and you were supposed to pay your money, and I back out. And then I go to the competition and watch them, like, man, I could have walked away with all that first place. First place with all, I could have. Every time. Because I wanted to be confident. I wasn't confident in a bathing suit. I've never been confident in a bathing suit. And the reason why, this is really going to trip you out. I've always put people before me. And so when I would go, I would always have shorts on, because this is how I felt. I never wanted to take anybody else's confidence away. I never wanted to take anybody else's confidence away. So I didn't want to see a woman that was overweight or felt the type of way, and she got her confidence, she in a bathing suit, and then here I come strutting my tail around. Monique said it best. She even called it by the name. My name Naisha, and Monique said, here come Naisha, talking about skinny Naisha. Yeah. I don't want to ruin nobody else's company. That's how I was. I did not know how toxic I was to my own self. So that's why I wasn't confident. It wasn't confidence because of the fact I ain't got it yet. I felt I got it like that. I just felt like I just didn't want anybody else to feel less than. And it's not one of those things that I felt like, oh, I'm too good. I look good. No, I always wanted to see people win and be happy, because I was never happy. I never got compliments. I never, got the, oh my goodness, you're doing so good, from the people that loved me, that I felt, should have been there for me. So therefore, I never wanted to. And that was a crazy way to think when you think about it. But from where I came from and the self-worth issues that I had, I wanted to pour into people so they never felt like me. So that was the thing. But I had to learn that in order to get confidence, I had to just start. Now I'm going to put on a bathing suit. I'm sorry, sis. You know what I mean? Come join the Coach Night fitness program. I'm not going to shame you or anything, but I'm going to do me, because now I understand how important it is to be me, to be happy with me. So that's the thing. So confidence is something that you build. You have to build it up. It comes from doing the hard things. Things that's hard, you do it. Showing up consistently. Keeping promises to yourself. Trying even when you're unsure. Learning from your mistakes and growing through experiences. That's where confidence comes from. Right? So every time you do what you say you're going to do. Every time you do what you say you're going to do. Every time you step out of your comfort zone. Every time when you stay disciplined. When you grow through your experience and keep going when it's hard, you build confidence. That's how you build confidence. So being perfect knowing your worth, and being perfect, knowing everything, and never being afraid, that is not confidence. That is not confidence. When you see them bad bees walking and you like, oh, that's a boss. That's a bad bee because they got this straight face and they walking and they look like they got it together. They get out of their fancy car and they get in there and they speak with aggression and they put it down and I'm very direct and this is what I said. That don't mean they confident. Some people, that's just the way of covering up that they're not confident. They go ahead and beat you to the punchline, so therefore you can't doubt who they are. But you get them by themselves, baby, you're gonna get to see the real side of them. They're not confident at all. That's not what confidence look like. Confidence is trusting yourself to figure things out. Meaning that when you walk in that room, you may not know it all. Meaning you walk in that room, you may be a little nervous. But you're not gonna go in there and shrink yourself and say, well, you guys, this is my first time doing this and I just want to. No, you know how many times I did that? Hell no, I ain't doing it no more. Absolutely not. Because I don't care what you think, because this class may not be for you. Do you know how many people may come into the Lead Her morning show and they're just like, oh, she talking nonsense. What is she talking about? And go on about their business? What do you think I'm going to shrink myself and say? The trolls that come on and say, tell me to shut up or whatever the case. You think I'm going to say, wait a minute, am I talking? No, I'm going to mute you and keep on going. Because you in my world. How dare you come into my world and rearrange any of my furniture? How do you come into my world and conquer any of my states or my countries? Baby, this is my world. You don't like it, get your passport and get on out. Go on, get on out. Denounce me. Get away from me. But that's what you look at it. No. You have to look at life like that. So trusting yourself to figure things out. Growth creates confidence, okay? Now, growth comes from discipline. First off, let's put a pin in that. I want to first and tell you guys, thank you so much for the likes, shares, and the follows. And I thank you for choosing this platform to come in and listen to get your daily leadership through the Lead Her movement. Now, if you don't have a notebook, because we're getting ready to come up on homework, go get your notebook while I'm talking, okay? And if you missed any of this or you don't have a notebook and got to come back later, go subscribe to my YouTube, Chat with Coach Knight. That's where I house these at in the playlist, Lead Her Morning Show. So my YouTube is Chat with Coach Knight. So let's get into it. Growth comes from discipline, right? Growth does not come from talking about it. Growth does not come from thinking about it. Growth does not come from planning it, okay? Growth comes from what you do consistently. Consistency. You have to be consistent in it. In order for me to be this confident in what I teach and come on to you guys and go onto any stage or speak to any crowd or do whatever it is and create, I had to believe in myself and I had to just do it. Listen, this morning I was getting ready to come on. It took me a little bit longer to come on because I was in gratitude mode. Because it was at one point when I started my business and I stepped into my healing journey and I stepped into my purpose that I was like, God, I'm not good enough for that. God, there's no way. I can't. How can I? You want me to quit my job and make this my job? How am I going? Nobody's going to pay for this. Nobody's going to come. God. And I did that. And in those moments, every time I said something, this is what came to me. Why not you? Everybody started somewhere. Got to keep going. And everybody that I listen to and an interview that they have done, I don't care. I research everything and I listen to, a lot. So they said that they didn't have nothing. It was the moment that they just gave up and was like, okay, I'm done, whatever, is when the world opened up to them. And then that world word kept hitting me. When the world opened up to them. And I don't know about them, but see, the world means something different to me. This is my world. I don't care. I had to learn to not care about this world taking me in. I had to worry about this world because the people that are meant to be in my life, God is going to bring to me. I'm not for everybody. I'm for the people that set apart just for me to teach. And that's what I had to do. And to go through all of that and to be here now that I have the Lead Her Movement Network, you guys can actually sign up for it today. And that's why I was getting emotional. It took me a little bit longer to come on because I did it, right? No one else can take the credit. It was just God. It was me, God, and God's creative ideas that he gave me. And I was obedient, and I stayed consistent, and I stayed consistent. And every time I log onto that network, and I'm like, okay, I did this. And I was tired. And I'm like, God, I need help. Why people won't support me, you know? In the beginning, that's what I would say. They won't even share my stuff. And I'll do this for them, and I'll do that for them. Because it's meant for them not to. Because what I created is so big that nobody will be able to get the credit for. But what they will remember is every time that I may have, that they may have thought like, man, maybe I should help. Or when I asked and they didn't help. Because God used you as an example of you being a God-blessed opportunity, a missed God-blessed opportunity in people's lives. It was the choice. Do they choose to listen to God when God sent people into your life to help you and they choose not to? Because of who I am, if you help me, you're going to grow with me. That's just what it is. But now I don't have to pull anybody up. I met some people that is just I'm going to be stuck with forever. Nina, she ain't on here. That's my sister. She ain't on here. Nina be out there busting her butt at work. But she made time to help me set that up. Louisiana Country Boy, guess what? That was the first guy that ever gave me my interview. When I wasn't even thought of. He gave me an interview. And helped me build confidence to be able to speak to a different audience. Do you understand? Those are the type of people that I'm never going to forget. Because even now, when I was building the network, they chipped in and they did, if I asked them, hey, log in and see if this worked or see if that worked, they did that. Yeah. They proofread, my workbooks when I was getting ready to put it out. They sat there and they went through each and every one of them. Workout programs, everything. Yeah, they looked at it, but at the same time, they were helping me as the customer. What do you think about this? Because I don't just put stuff out. I don't just do all this stuff and put it out. No, I have to make sure it's effective. I'm the leader that's going to save the world. In order to save the world, I have to teach you how to heal. How can I teach you how to heal if I'm just writing something and just throwing it in your face? No, these are my testimonial experiences that I created into leadership to help you heal. So those are the type of things that I'm never going to forget. So now that the network is open, every time I say the network, I'm about to cry because I did it. It is good. So it is good. It is good. It is good. It is good. So I'm going to have the founding members be able to log in on the 18th. That's going to be for y'all that want to be, it's a discount. Y'all get a major discount because you're coming in as the founding members. Meaning that the official launch, thank you, Lola, the official launch is not until June 1st. That's the official launch. So you guys will be in while I'm still tweaking some things. You get to see things change and you get to put in your input. So it's like you're part of the beginning of it, right? Yeah, so that's good. So like I said, thank y'all for the likes, shares, and the follows. I thank y'all for everything. And if you missed any of this, you can go on my YouTube. My YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. Matter of fact, go on there, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because I go live over there, and I don't want you to miss any of the teachings that I do over there. So let's get back into it. So growth comes from discipline. That's where growth comes from. Growth does not come from talking about it, thinking about it. And thank you, Lola. Are planning it. No, growth comes from what you do consistently. Discipline is what? Doing what needs to be done. Even when you don't feel like it. We talked about that. Doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. How many of y'all have, wait, let me finish it. Even when it's hard, right? Even when no one is watching. That's what discipline is. How many of y'all have sat and y'all have cried? And y'all like, I don't want to do this, God. I am tired of this job. I'm tired of this relationship. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of hell. I'm tired of being a mommy sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm tired of doing it alone. I'm tired. And you sit and you cry and there's nobody else to help you. And then the ones that is supposed to help you, guess what they say? I did it. Look at me. I did it. I'm fine. Do you know how many times I used to tell that to people when I was in survival mode and I wasn't healed? Listen, look at me. I did it. You can do this. I did it. And I thought I was giving that motive. I told you what the enemy does. He will have you thinking that your motivational speaking is coming from a healed place and helping someone. when it is coming from a toxic self, right? And projected onto someone. Do you know how many times I told people, I did it. Look at me, I did it. You just got to keep going. You just got to get up and you just got to keep going. I did it. And that was the wrong thing for me to do, to step in a moment when a person is being vulnerable, to shut them down, to come in and talk about what I did and look at the glory of me. But it's one thing that I can't see about me, that person can see about me. Yeah, you did it. And I'm going to put the truth out. This is exactly what they saying. Yeah, you did it, but you batshit crazy. Everybody at the company talking about how crazy you is. Everybody can see you crazy. Everybody can see you all over the place. But you is telling people all this stuff. You could do it and you just got to get up. Let me explain to you the best thing to do. When you do it anyway, you're crying. You don't want to do it. This is where I need you to know this is where God is meeting you at. This is where God is meeting you at. When we're looking for God to take the pain away, we're looking for God to take this away, we're looking for God to heal us, we're looking for God to make us feel better. When you're doing it anyway, that is God carrying you. When you don't even know how, I don't even know how I had the strength to do it, because when you finally let go and when you're depleted, that's when God can come in. But you got to be depleted, meaning that you got to be done. Because you can't allow God in, and yet Jesus take the wheel. But I'm going to keep my foot on the pedals and the brakes and gas. Jesus take the wheel, but I'm going to tell you from the passenger side how to drive. Jesus take the wheel, and where did you get your passenger side license from? Because if you want to do it yourself, then do it yourself. But if you want me to intervene, allow me to do it the way that it needs to be done and not the way that you want it done. You want to heal and you want to get these emotions in check, but you won't let God come in and he's telling you to sit in it. But no, I can't sit in that. I got stuff to do. I ain't got time to be sitting around crying. Listen, and guess what other advice they give you? From they healed, the survival. I call it the fake it till you make it heal. You know what you have to do? You have to be strong. And when you get in the shower, you cry. What? Because it's the only time that you have for yourself. So those 5 minutes. So if that's the only time that I have for myself, and it's 5 minutes, what am I thinking? I ain't got time to be crying. I got stuff to do. No, you don't put a time on when you cry. You don't control how you react. You don't control. And this is why women, we stay stuck in the loop of everybody is running in our head. Everybody is in our energy because we worrying about our homegirl because she going through it with her husband. She's going through it, and then we worried about our other friend who just lost someone. We worried about this. We worried about our kids. We worried about work. We worried about our man. We worried about our life. We worried about our health. We worried about how we gonna pay bills. We worried about all these things, and baby, we in a loop because we in everybody else's business and not in our own world. See, when we in our own world, we face our own problems. So if I feel like crying today, baby, I'm going to cry. Listen, it was a point in time in my life you'd have never seen me cry, and if you see me cry, we gonna fight. That's how it was. That's just what it was, because I was always in secondary emotions because I wasn't emotionally intelligent. So since I wasn't emotionally intelligent, I act from a place of what I grew up in, of those values and morals. If somebody make you mad, you talk. I don't know how to have a decent conversation. I don't know how to articulate. I only know how to articulate being loud and, over talking the next person, because the more emotional you are, the more you're telling the truth. That's what I was taught. Even though I'm telling the truth, but to make the people around me believe me, I have to be so aggressive with it. No. Healing for me, I'll cry. I'm not waiting till I get in the shower and cry. Baby, you hurt my feelings. I'm going to cry. If that's what I feel, if my emotions feel like I'm about to cry, now, it ain't going to be no cry of lips trembling and shaking and all that. It's just the fact that I'm releasing this. This is a good thing. So for you that think that you won up and like, I made her cry. No, baby, what you should be is, listen, you don't understand what just happened. See, because I used to be a crash out. Y'all call it crash out. I shut the whole highway down from state to state. Do you understand? State to state. I don't see nothing red. I'm going to paint the whole city red. It did not matter. I understand that y'all see me and like her. She wasn't like that. Baby, I was like that. But who I am today, so if I'm standing here, you hurt my feelings and I drop a tear, it's not a thing of I'm weak. No, baby, this is strength. because I could have skull drug you all up and down this street, but I choose not to. This is amazing. Look at me growing up. I mean, God, this is working. Do you understand? So it's like, okay, yes, because I'm in the emotion, that I'm attaching the right emotion to my feelings now. But then after that, I can still have a conversation with you and not feel like I need to shrink. I don't have to say, whew, you know what? Or I'm crying. Baby, I'm going to wipe that tear and say, you know what? Here's what we need to have a conversation about. As in tears falling. Yeah, so here's what needs to happen. Okay, so you're never going to talk to me that way again. Okay, these are my boundaries. Okay, see, that person, they may one up you when you shrink yourself, but it's in that moment that you are standing in your power as you wipe that tear away and still articulating what you need to articulate. Baby, you done provoke some fear in them, because now they're like, wait a minute, what's wrong with that one? Tears equal aggressive. Tears equal shrink. No, it's survival mode. I'm in heal mode. So we're going to finish this conversation. It's just not going to go the way that you want it to go. And if it got to go the way that you want it to go, then I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. And if I need to talk about it, we'll talk about it later. But in this moment, you will not talk to me that way. Period. As you wipe your tear, I never thought I could be that person. Baby, I'm that person. Look at me. Growing up and stuff. Ain't skull dragging nobody. Ain't doing none of that. Girl, I done grew up. So listen. Discipline looks like showing up daily, as we talked about. Sticking to your habits. Following through. Being consistent. Staying committed. When you stay disciplined, your habits improve. Your mindset shifts. Your confidence builds. These are the things that happen when discipline comes in. Your results will change, and over time, discipline turns into growth. It is so important for me to stay in my world. This is where I live every day. My thoughts live here every day. Mine. I live here every day. My thoughts live here every day. This is my world. Do you understand? Let me explain something to you. I need you to trace this back to your childhood. And you might need a therapist to help you unravel it. Don't ever skip out on a therapist. Okay? Find you a therapist. Life coaches and therapists are not the same. So when anybody that know me, have done sessions with me, they'll tell you I will end that session really quick and send you to a therapist, because that's not what I do. So when I say this is where you need to go back to your childhood, when they told you this is where this came from. I bought this toy for you, but it's yours. This is something that you wanted. You asked for this, and you're like, yes. Hold on, let me do my puzzle. There we go. I asked for this. I couldn't wait to get this. I wanted this toy. I wanted this. And my mommy finally bought it for me. Yes, I could be 6 years old, 5 years old, 7 years old. It don't matter how old you are in your childhood. This is where childhood trauma starts. And this is yours. You're going to take care of this. This means something to you. See, your mother don't know, the person that bought it for you. Nobody else understand how important this is to you. It means something to you. That's why you wanted it. And then all of a sudden your younger sister, friend, the cousins, whatever come and they take it. And you crying like, Mom, get it. I want that back. Can you tell them to give it back? And they like, no, you let them share. You have to share. Do you know what this means to me? But you don't know how to articulate that. All you hear is, stop being selfish and share. So you grew up with that mindset of, pretty much basically like, well, I'm selfish if I don't give everything. I'm selfish if I don't. Well, something's wrong with me. So then you grew up always giving, people pleasing, giving everything, giving all your stuff, just like here. You grew up feeling that way. And now you're an adult and you're a people pleaser. You are a people pleaser. Listen, everybody that come in your life, you want to just give, you want to overly give. They come in your life and just say, hey, let me get a cup of sugar. Here. But you know what? If they ask me for a cup of sugar, that means they need more. I'm going to go ahead and give them the whole pound of sugar, and I'll just go buy some more. Right? And then you wondering why, when you see that person the next time, they giving you their butt to kiss, why she act like she don't know me? Why she act like this? Why she treat me like that? Why is this? Well, you the one that overgave. They're treating you accordingly. You was a neighbor. They asked for some sugar. You gave them a bag. They don't owe you nothing much more. They don't. What else do they owe you? So it's that childhood that you processed as a child. You're a child processing adult decisions, right? They told you stop being selfish and you need to share. Even though this meant everything to me. This meant everything to me. But as a child, you process you're selfish and you should be ashamed of yourself. That is, you did a bad thing. And you just want to save the world. But you did a bad thing. No, I'm telling you right now, go talk to that child and tell them like, no, that was your toy. That meant everything to you. I don't care what it was. They projected something onto you. They felt that way and they projected it onto you. How does parents project it onto them? Because they never had nobody to look out for them, right? And they always wanted somebody to share, so they raised their kids to want to be a person that shares. I did it until my boys rejected it. They got old enough to reject it. And my oldest son pretty much let me know that that's how you see the world. I don't see the world that way. That's how you see the world. I don't. So another thing was, like my son, these ear pods that he had. He bought them when he was in the 8th or 9th grade, right? He is finishing up freshman year in college, and he still has those same earbuds. New ones came out. He don't care nothing about that. You know, one time I had a cousin, her daughter came over and stole his earpods. I said, well, son, I'll get you another one. Not only did she steal them, she took them out the skin. He had them in the skin. She took them out the skin, left the skin, put it in her purse. But here was the craziest thing about that. She put it in her purse, but when they left, her purse was left at home. So when he tracked we kept trying to figure out whose purse is this? But when we tracked his iPods, right? I mean, his iPod, they were binging in the purse. And I was like, vibrating in the purse. And I was like, okay. That was a whole nother story of how do I articulate this to my cousin about her daughter stealing, but whatever. So now he still has them. And I was like, well, son, let me buy you some more. No. And he has money. He can buy some more. No. And the reason being is because they were his. Now, those were the ones that he bought. Those were the ones that he wanted. He spent his money on it. They are his, and he still have them to this day. So how dare I? Well, let your brother use them. He ain't got no earbud. Hell no. No. Because I understand. I stopped projecting on I wanted people to be there for me, right? So I'm going to raise my kids to be there for them, other people. No. That's not selfish. You are putting you first. That's it. So, learning to break that out. So, let's go ahead and do a recap. So, listen, take a moment and give yourself credit. Stop beating yourself up all the time. Thank y'all for the likes, shares, and the follows, okay? Thank you so much for the likes, shares, and the follows. It means everything to me. Take a moment and give yourself credit for everything that you've done. Every little thing that you've done. Thank you. Go hard for the follow. Every little thing that you've done. Thank you. Jennifer, thank y'all so much. Every little thing. Give yourself some credit. Small wins. Small things matter. Hannah, thank you for the follow. Listen, Deb, thank you for the follow. Listen, let's go ahead and make it a wrap. Listen, give yourself credit. You did it. Nobody else did it. Thank you, Lola. Nobody else did it. Today you chose to join the Lead Her movement. You don't have to do anything special. Just coming into my live, you have joined the Lead Her movement. Yeah, I get so emotional. And because with the Lead Her movement, that means that you are going to now, because I gave you another way to look at life, you're going to operate in a healthier mindset. That's it. It's just rewiring the brain. Hey, Deb, now, the thing you said, the guilt I feel, that's the enemy trying to win. Let me see that. Don't cry. So the part of healing, and now I'm glad you in that emotion. I feel, not glad like that, but what I'm saying is thank you, Dark Skin, for the follow. In that emotion, don't run from it. Don't hold yourself to the guilt. Feel it. This is how you heal. You understand that, okay, I don't like that and I want to change. You acknowledge how it feels. Now you don't ever want to feel like that again. So this is the part of healing. I don't ever want to feel like that again. So therefore, I'm going to do better so I don't do that again. That's what healing is. When I was explaining to you guys about sit in the emotion and then feel it so you'll never do it again. But then you do better. You dwell in it. The enemy can attach and keep you in guilt and you can't move forward. Listen, I did so many things through my healing. I realized I did so many things. Picasso, thank you. I did so many things that I look back and I'm like, dang, I thought I was a good mom. Gay day. How do these kids still love me so much? I can laugh about it now, but baby, I didn't laugh before. I would cry like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And I would go apologize to my kids. Apologize. My oldest son said, Mom, and this is before they was, even in, my oldest, he was in middle school. The youngest one was in elementary. And they just like, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. But how do I make that okay for me? By making sure I don't do that again. I told you. We grow up in survival mode of how our parents raised us. And we like, no, we're not raising our kids that way. But then we still raise them. I told you, you have the survival mode, the low gutter survival mode, what we were raised in, to now, right? The survival mode of we made it out the hood, but we still have the toxic mindset. It's just elevated. So what I was teaching my kids was from that place until I realized, no, that's not healing at all. I had to create what healing looked like to me. I had to rewire my brain. I don't do the negative and positive. I don't do the yes, no, maybe. It's desirable or undesirable. Do I desire these things in my life? Yes. Then that's what I create and allow in my life. But if I don't desire it, I don't take substitutes. Listen, I want to be married. I do want to be married again. I want to be loved properly. I want these things. However, I'm not going to do the substitute. Do you know in this time of my life, this is the strongest I've ever been mentally, spiritually, and physical. Right? And after this, yeah, but you got to take care of yourself, Nikki. But after the healing, now I'm the most attractive in my life right now. So I'm attracting things. It doesn't matter. It's been men, hell, it's been women. It's just been things like blessings, everything. I'm in my attractive state of my life, right? I don't chase bags come in. Everything comes to me so effortlessly. It just comes. But here it is in the state that, yeah, I want to be married again just because I'm attracting these type of guys. You're not my type of guy. I'm no longer substituting like, well, I ain't got nobody else, so why not? I'm not doing that anymore. No. I want what God wants for me because everything I choose hurt me. Baby, I'm telling you, my record of choosing the wrong thing, baby, it's been good. It's been a good run, but it ain't happening no more. So recap it. Take a moment to give yourself credit. You are growing. You are becoming more disciplined and your confidence is building. Yes, keep showing up. Your next level is being built one day at a time. Yeah. And you know what? Another thing, Miss Nikki, it's like, and that's exactly what it is, that trigger. Like I say, you don't know what needs to be healed until you're triggered, right? And right? So that text ended up putting you in a panic attack, which led to depression and anxiety. So whatever was in that text that triggered that thing that was in you, right? Whatever you read, whatever it triggered, I need you to identify, name the trigger, name what it was in that text that made you, and that's what you got to heal from that, right? Yeah. And that's the biggest part of healing is learn how to say no and period. Let me explain something to you about the yes. And we're going to get y'all notebooks while I say this because I'm about to give you homework. So listen, when someone asks you for something, right? All they're looking for is a yes. Right? Can you do this? Can you do it? And you say yes, even though you got to rearrange your life and do this thing. And I'm real big with my time. Don't waste my time. If you ask me for something, I'm going to rearrange stuff and I'm going to be there for you. But then you don't call me or you don't tell me that you don't need it no more or you wait till you will never get that level of access to me again because you already showed me that I'm not worth your time enough for you to even be the courtesy of saying, I don't need it. After I changed my whole day, oh, hell no. Nope, move. So, the same way when someone's looking for just, Janice, thank you for the follow. When someone is looking for just a yes, and someone is sitting around like, okay, I just want to hear yes. So when you be like, yeah, I could do it, but I got to do that. And they be like, no, don't worry about it. Take your time. Because all they want to hear is a yes. That's a period. So I need you to say no with a period. You don't go, no, I can't because I got, no. What do we talk about? Here's what we say. That time won't work for me. If you want to do it and you're willing to do it, that's fine. But that time won't work for me. You don't shift your day to meet someone else's goals, because they're never going to shift their day to meet your goals, because they understand how to lead first. Them. That's not selfish. And you being making yourself available all the time does not mean you selfless. That means that you don't know your self-worth. You don't value your own time and things that you have going on. You know why? Because I've done it all these years, so I can speak to it. Now, I have all the time in the world. You know what people see? They see me on live, right? They see me, sitting around like, what you doing at the house? Oh, well, you ain't doing nothing. Oh, I'm doing everything. I'm absolutely busy. At 1 p.m., guess what comes on Central Time? Beyond the Gates. I like to sit and watch that. Don't come talk to me. Well, I got the... At 1 p.m. Central Time, Beyond the Gates is coming on. And that's what I'm going to watch. Okay? That is my time. You don't tell me what I don't need to do. I don't care if you are family. I don't care what baby, if you ain't got an emergency. Listen, my son broke his finger. I didn't know the baby done broke his finger. He always doing something. I stay in the emergency room with something broke. I told y'all the other day I'm sitting at the pond and he take off full speed and they building a house and he just do a forward flip inside the window. Why are you there? Why are you in them people's houses? Like, what made you open up our front door, take off full speed across the street and do a flip in the window? What is wrong with you? And I'm going to say this. I said all this and I'm going to say this, but I ain't got no bad kids. He's just, oh boy, just boy. I had to get on to him because my house would have been getting built and I drove up and I seen somebody do a front. Boy, if you get your bag, go get your mammy. Where's she at? Right? So with that, his finger had broken and I was on live teaching. He didn't even come in the room to tell me. After it was over with, he said, well, Mom, I think I broke my finger. I said, why didn't you tell me? You was teaching. And it wasn't hurting that bad. It was just, it burned a little bit, but. So if my kids can respect my time, even though he shouldn't have respected it in that moment, but you know what I mean? So therefore, who are you to come into my life and you don't respect my time? I didn't even birth you. No. And that's what you got to remember. Your no should have a period on it. No explanation. I love being alone too. And the thing with being alone, it's not the fact that I like being alone in the toxic survival mindset, right? When you heal, being alone is a little bit different. Being alone means that you are comfortable in your world. I'm not alone. I have so much, I'm so focused on me, right? And being alone in that sense, I'm so focused on me, I don't have time for anything, any nonsense right now. Because in my world, you have to look at, this is your world. This is where you live every day. These are your thoughts. This is where you live every day, right? So I'm pretty much like the president of my world. I'm the CEO of my world. I'm so focused on me that I'm building something in me, right? And when you're in purpose, remember, purpose is of God. How can you help the next person? That's purpose. God is purpose, right? He put you in purpose because you have to help other people. Passion is self. You're trying to help yourself to please everybody else. You see? I want this and I want all the money. I want all this because, and then people can see me as a boss. Versus I'm in purpose. I don't need to be seen. But the glory has to be seen. So I'm so focused on me. So I enjoy being alone because I'm creating. I'm creating right now. And right now, God is not bringing just anybody into my life. God is going to bring what I need into my life, meaning that I am someone's rib, and he's going to bring that person to me, right? The same way I'm going to be available to him. You don't have to go out there and go search for. Listen, I know it's the Lead Her movement, but men are in here. You don't have to go out and search for, with a flashlight in the daytime. You ain't got to do all that, because she's going to come to you. Everybody and everything, it goes over their head when they start interpreting the Bible from a survival mindset. And they say, well, I'm looking for my Boaz. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking for my Boaz. You ain't supposed to look for your Boaz. Ruth wasn't looking for Boaz. Boaz found her. Boaz seen her. God brought Ruth to Boaz. In the field, Boaz was like, oh boy, who is that? What does my eyes show me today? Boom. That's how it was. Whatever Adam was doing, it must have been something that made God say, you know what, you bored. And I can have many thoughts of a man left alone by himself and the things that he probably do when he's by himself. And God said, I'm going to create something for you, but I'm going to put you to sleep. Put him to sleep. The man had to be asleep. This is the stuff that go over everybody's head. They just look like, oh, and she came from the rib and that was it and they were together. No, God put him to sleep. Now let's look at it in another sense, meaning that I have to prepare you for her. We don't know what that sleep meant. That sleep could have meant that, okay, I'm about to change your world up, just like healing. I'm about to change your world up. I'm about to introduce you to something you ain't never seen before or you never had before. You never had to protect something like this. So I have to teach you how to be gentle with her. I have to bring out feminine energy in you, give you feminine energy so you can understand her. But that don't mean that you have to be feminine. See, we don't think about all the things that had to happen to Adam while he was asleep to be able to see us when we're there, because he would have overlooked us. Adam and Eve was not the only humans there. I'm sure he's seen others, but it's just the fact that's your problem. You go look and read Genesis yourself and figure it out. However, he never had one for himself. Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. He never had one for himself. So God had to teach him, when I take your rib out, you're going to feel so in tune with her because she is a piece of you. Do you understand? He was the first man to birth something. So therefore, this is the feeling you're going to have. I have to teach you how not to be possessive over her, because she is your bone. She is your flesh. I have to teach you how to be sensitive to her needs and understand that she don't operate the way you do. It was things that he had to teach Adam, in the same way for Ruth. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Hold on. I don't know. Felt like my nose was running. I don't need to be on camera with my nose running. Same thing he had to, not for Ruth, I'm sorry. Same thing he had to do for Eve. We don't know that when he create her from a baby, and Adam had to say, let's say he's 40 years old, had to stay asleep for 40 years for her to grow up to be 40 years old. We don't know that. Did he create her established as a grown woman, 40-year-old? And if that happened, now he got to teach her how to walk, how to talk, how to do. See, in those times that you are sleeping and your spouse is sleeping, y'all are healing to be perfect for each other. So stop running to God, asking him, I want a husband. You're already destined to have one. Ask God, what is it that I need to do about me to fix me so I can be seen by my husband or whoever you have for me? What do I need to do with me? I need to fix me. So yes, your husband, guess what? Baby, he is at Walmart with the door that opens up automatically, trying to push the window part that's right next to it, trying to get into the door. Yeah, he ain't that bright. But guess what? Thank you, Michelle, for the follow. At the end of the day, he's learning a valuable lesson that everybody that he's watching that's going in the door and out the door is not the type of people that, no, I don't trust the way they going in because everybody doing it that way. I want to be different. He's teaching them a valuable lesson. Move over a little bit to the left. That is a window. It is not a door, and just walk through. It is not any It's nothing that's going to happen. There's no catch-22. There is nothing that's going to happen when you're walking through the door. This is what happened. We opened the door. The door opens automatically. All you have to do is stand there. And he needs to understand that's how I operate in your life, son. That if you want whatever you need, you ask and I'm going to open the door. There is nothing hard that you need to do. Whatever it is. And he has to learn his lesson. So let him sleep. Why God cook and you work on you. See, your husband, what if he done passed that and he finally walked through the door and he like, yeah, I'm in here now. Walmart, y'all don't know what y'all done brought up in here, baby. I'm in here now. And he waiting on you. And you too busy fake healing in survival mode, reading Proverbs 31, listening to every other podcast that's telling you how you need to be, what you need. The next time you get in a relationship, you make sure you go through his phone. Don't put nothing past him. Every man cheating. Then you reading Proverbs 31 and you reading it all backwards. Your surface reading it. Talking about my husband gonna find me. You girl, you faking it till you make it, because you can read the Bible all day and you don't even understand what it's telling you. That Proverbs 31 pretty much, and verse 10, starting at verse 10 going on, it's basically giving you the blueprint as a woman, what you should be doing. Yes, you have a husband. Yes. He's at the gate. He's doing his thing. Yes. But what it's saying is, women, you don't need that for you to operate in life and be successful. This is going to operate on its own because y'all are made for each other. Okay? So just one of those things of getting into real healing. Real healing is finding you. God will bring you to the things that you need. The people that's for you, God will bring them to you. If you got a business, you ain't got no customers, don't worry about it. God will bring them to you. But you cannot ask God to bring them to you and you're trying to be like somebody else. It ain't gonna happen. You got to be yourself, because there's people that's set apart for you, just for you, in everything that you do. Don't ask God, oh God, I ain't got no followers. I just want to get my message out. I just want to get my stuff sold. And then you only get like maybe 200 followers, or maybe one like, maybe 60 views. Maybe I still get on. Sometimes I don't even make 100 views on my videos. But that's not my priority, because those 100 people are the 100 people that needed to see it. So I'm successful. I'm successful because I'm doing it the way I was told to do it. I'm not for everybody. I'm for the people that's meant for me. So people can come in right now and say, if you do this, like they'll tell me, man, you should do this. You'll get more money. I don't operate from a place of money. God, I want some money. God, give me some money. I ain't lying. Now this is for real. God, give me some money. Because it's things I want to do. I want to build on my property. Right? It's things I want to do. However, I don't operate in my business that way. I don't create my prices up. Well, I got this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. No. God, how much should I charge? That's how I operate. People are like, well, you should charge more. Because the moment that I listen to you is the moment that hell is going to come into my life and everything is going to crumble. Who are you? Get away from me. Right? So that's the thing. Focus on you. What's for you, not for everybody else. Listen, thank y'all for the likes, shares, and the follows. If you haven't followed, go ahead and follow. If you missed any of this, you can go to my YouTube. My YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I do live teachings over there as well. You have homework. It's leadership courses. So let's get back into this. So we did the recap. Is take a moment and give yourself credit. You are growing. You are becoming more disciplined, and your confidence is building. Keep showing up. Your next level is built one day at a time. One day at a time. So let's get into the RPI. What is the RPI? RPI is to acknowledge, release, practice, inner explore, and empower. Those are the 5 pillars of the foundation of the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp, which I am the founder of, David, CEO of. Let me explain something to you about that. That is where I teach you how to heal spiritually, mentally, and physically. So as a personal trainer, I have workout programs over there. But in those programs, you are going to get homework for your spiritual and the mental. I don't believe in just healing one, because I understand it has to be whole body. So these are, and it's RPI, because when I was doing this, I did this years ago. In 2023, I created the RPI. And the RPI is basically your way, your piece of the healing pie. So that's why I call it RPI. Our piece of the healing pie, right? So RPI, to acknowledge. A for acknowledge. How have I changed in the last 3 weeks? Just in the last 3 weeks, how have you changed? Or if you haven't had a change, if you just start following, how have you changed since you've been following me? How have you been able to think of and see things, right? R for release. Release discouragement. Release that. All the negative self-talk, I told you, in order to change your filter, you have to rewire your brain to see something else. So if you're always like, I ain't going to be able to do it, man, this is going to be hard. I'm not good enough, right? So when something new come, when a new job come on, when something come, your brain automatically does its job. It says, yeah, we ain't going to be able to do that because it has nothing else. That's right, Deb. It has nothing else to go off of until you meet Coach Nye and I give you the what if. Now you throw that in there. Release discouragement. So your brain is going to say, okay, we got a couple of things to bounce off now. We can say, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. And wait a minute, what's this? This is something new. I can? You challenge your negative self-talk. I can? Now you sit back. So I can't do that. I can. So I choose I can. I can't is gone away. I'm not good enough. I am. I am? All right, I'm going with I am. I can't and it's not for me. I'm not good enough. All that is going out the window because now your brain processes when to see a new job. Oh, we can do that. Oh, we know how to research now. We know how to get to the resources. Oh, and if we don't know, we know how to research to find out. Oh, we got this. Go ahead, apply. That's how you rewire your brain. So P for practice. Write your growth and your wins. Write them down. Whenever you want. Every day. Whenever. But what I'm doing is with these homework assignments and different things is so you can focus on you. You don't have to do all of them, but it's just something to break up your everyday of what you do every day, right? Now you're adding something new. This is how you change your life, right? I for inner explorer. Inner explorer is pretty much a self-reflection. What have I learned about myself during this journey? What have you learned about yourself? Within it, if you guys follow me from day one of the Lead Her Morning Show, or just yesterday or today, right? I can walk away from toxic people as a Christian. Didn't think it was right to walk away from anyone. Oh, damn, I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing about people that's Christianity and things like that. And I don't go with all the religion. I believe in God. I believe Jesus died on the cross for me, things like that. And then I know they say, well, if you believe Jesus died on the cross, then you're a Christian. But Christianity, the word Christianity did not come on the scene until after Paul because they did not know what to call folks. So Jesus ain't never say nothing about no Christianity. But that's another story. Here we go. So a lot of people think to be like God, to love God, then you have to treat people right. And treating people right and doing right by people mean that you give them the shirt off your back. We hear that so much. I did not realize that was so toxic and such a survival mode mindset. That's that elevated mindset. That means that we grew. We are not like how we used to be, but we still have the survival mode mindset. You're not healed because honestly, here's the truth. When they say that person, something happened to that person, they be like, man, she was such a good person. She would give you the shirt off her back. Yeah. Well, here's the healed version. You don't have now. You're cold because you gave that person the shirt off your back because it's godlike. That's what the world told you. Well, and then you see that person that you helped out. Now somebody else is helping them and they keep getting and they keep getting and they keep getting. And you like, I could have kept my shirt. I'm cold. And that person that keep getting, they're not going to give you your shirt back because they're going to keep your shirt because you gave it to them. And you look at them as selfish and you see yourself as selfless. Now, let me tell you what's wrong. First off, they're not selfish. You gave it to them. You gave it to them. They didn't ask. You seen that they were cold and you gave it to them. God already has somebody set for that person. Did God tell you to go over there and give him the shirt off your back? That's the number one thing. Did God tell you to go over there and give him? No, the world told you to be like God. You have to give him the shirt off your back. And then when you give him the shirt off your back, then you crying, talking about God, why I do right by people. I do all these things by people. I do all this. Yes, you do. But I never told you to do that. I already had somebody for that person to bring them a downy coat. I already had this set up. I have everything set up. You chose to go do my job. And now you want me to reward you for doing my job. But you didn't do my job because the person with the downy coat that I was going to give to them had a message for them. Right? Had a message for them. Let's just say it went like this. well, God, I ask that you show me who it is that you gave me this message for that I'm supposed to give it to. Whoever I'm supposed to give this coat to that need this coat, I'm going to give them this message. But here you is. Here's a shirt off my back. They don't need the coat, but you ain't got no one else to give the coat to. So you feel called to give them the coat. You give them the coat, but you don't give them the message. See, you intervened in something that was a God-blessed opportunity for that homeless person or whoever it was, because you went off your own understanding of what the world told you. The world told you to do. I didn't tell you to give them the shirt off your back. You need your shirt because I need you for someone else. The moment that you leave your post to go run around and get in somebody else's business that God ain't told you to get into, you missed your God-blessed opportunity, because the shirt that I needed you to give to is this person right here. You're going to give them the shirt. They're going to see you, and they're going to come back because they're going to give scratch-off ticket, and they're going to come back and give you $1 million. But you missed that opportunity because you over here in somebody else's business. See, you got to know what's your lane. Just because you are does not mean did God call you over there to do that. And that's something I had to learn. Because I was giving everybody everything. I would give, you never know who God is. Here. People think they're taking advantage of me. No, baby. I just thought that this is what I was supposed to do. I'm a person. I got a good heart. I got a good heart. I just want to take care of everybody. I got a good heart. No. The truth is, no. I was doing a very stupid act. I was acting off my own understanding because what the world told me was godly. I didn't get to know God myself. So that's one of the things. So we did, I for Inner Explorer, what have I learned about myself during this journey? Well, you just learned something today. Stop giving the shirt off your back unless God told you to. E for Empower. I am evolving into a better version of myself. Yes, anytime you join anything with the Lead Her movement, the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp, anything that got Coach and I in it, you are going to evolve into a better version of yourself. Once I show you truth, you'll never be able to try and live the lie again. It's impossible. That's why your voice is so important. The message is so important. Once you hear the truth, you will never be able to live your life as a lie again. So this is what you're going to journal. I give you 3 prompts that you can journal from. What am I most proud of? What are you most proud of? Tell me about it. What did I do consistently this week? And where did I lack discipline? Okay? So from your homework, I want you to get ready to plan your next week, meaning starting tomorrow, start planning for the next week. What is it that you want to see or do in the next week? Now, my weekly reflections, when I do weekly reflections, it doesn't be just at the end of the week on a Friday. No, it's when I feel like it could be on a Tuesday, it could be a Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter. It's a check-in. We need to do a check-in. So plan your next week. Now let's do our declaration. Repeat after me. Sound like it. Repeat after me. All right. I am growing every day. My discipline is building my confidence. I am proud of my progress. And I will continue to show up for myself. And your scripture for today is Romans 12:2. 12 verse 2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Okay? Do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Okay? Listen, if you missed any of this, first off, before I even talk anymore, thank y'all again so much for all the likes, shares, and the follows. Thank you. If you haven't followed, go ahead and follow. I do the Lead Her morning show every morning at 9:30. Sometimes my meetings run over a little bit and I come in a little bit late. But it will be that morning. So you are so welcome, Deb and Juan. So it's Monday through Friday at that time, around that time, unless I have a meeting or appointment or something, right? I'll let you know. If you missed any of the Lead Her morning shows, it is on my YouTube. I ask that you guys go and subscribe to my YouTube. Hit the notification bell because I teach over there as well. I got the leadership course, The Power Within, and I got the women's leadership through the women of the Bible. And this Sunday, we're going to talk about Rebecca. And if you missed any of those, I have them all in my playlist. In my playlist or my YouTube, I have the Lead Her morning show, the Coach and I Leadership Lounge, where I put the women of the Bible. I have the power within. I have the 31-day inner transformation. I have so many classes over there. And then when I go live, you guys can get notified. So go subscribe to YouTube. Chat with Coach Nye. Chat with Coach Nye. Chat with Coach Nye. That is my YouTube. And hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. So that's where these will be housed. The Lead Her Morning Show will be housed there. Another thing, here on TikTok, I also do your weekly homework assignment. I have a playlist that says weekly homework assignment. Go ahead, check that out here on TikTok. And I ask that you share it. You don't have to like it, right? You don't have to comment. I ask that you share it. I'm the coach that's going to save the world. I can't save the world unless I teach you how to heal. And those homework assignments can help someone rewire their brain to look at things in a different light. So just share it out for me. And I post it every Monday or Sunday night. I usually post it, right? So I have my group me. My group me is Chat with Coach Nye, where I put homework assignments. I have the physical, spiritual, the mental. All these are journaling prompts, something that you can take and you can journal, and meditation, and you can meditate on, things like that. So it's 4 different categories over there in my group me. My group me is Chat with Coach Nye. Go check it out. If you need to get in touch with me really quick, that's the best way to do it on the group me. Now, also the group me, you guys, and no one's really utilizing it for that. You guys can go in there and communicate with each other. You can post in there as well, something positive. You can post something in there as well. It's nothing wrong with that. This is how you meet friends, but it's okay because I'm going to teach y'all about friendship. And that's going to be through the, I cry every time I talk about my network. That's going to be through the Lead Her Movement Network, where women, we come together as sisters. We don't use the word sis. We don't use the word friend, sis, because of the fact it has no meaning behind it. The enemy will create terms for us to just use and just throw it out there freely. But what I'm doing is saying sis, but I'm still going to disrespect you. A sister, you got to understand, we come from the same father. We come from the same father. So you are my sister. And if we are in unity as sisterhood, when this sister has a problem with this sister, let's think about Martha and Mary. Martha was mad at Mary, like, get in this kitchen and cook. What you in there sitting at the feet of Jesus for? Women are supposed to be in the kitchen when men come. When the rabbi is teaching women in the kitchen. Mary said, girl, bye. I'm sitting right here. They having an issue. Now, this sister, that'll be you, will be able to come in and settle it and tell Martha, okay, kind of like what Jesus did. Martha, what you doing is okay. You're not doing anything wrong. And what Mary doing, she's where she's supposed to be, because they were living in 2 lives at the same time. Martha was in physical. Mary was in spiritual. She looked at what was important, which was Jesus. Martha looked at what was important in the physical world, women getting this bread cooked. So if they are beefing, then they fall apart, which causes what? Us all to fall. But if one of us as sisters can have that conversation to rebridge that gap, and that's why as women, we can change the world. Because if we heal our mind and change the way we're thinking, the whole world won't change. Our world, this is where we live every day. If we can change this, then we can move through this world a totally different way. Everybody is not going to be part of the Lead Her movement, and that's okay. But we are the ones that's going to be changers, because God needs us to make change. He can make the change himself, but he uses us as a vessel. So that's what we learn over there at the Lead Her the Lead Her Movement Network. Is we're going to learn about sisterhood. We're going to have classes. I got all type of classes set up. The first class that is going to be the sisterhood framework. So that's kind of like the sister academy that I have under there. That's where we have our courses. Think of it like college. We're in there. We're getting courses. We're learning something. Also, I'm so excited about it. You'll have your own profile where you can go in and put your picture in there and tell us a little bit about you. But this is where you'll stop every day. Depending on what tier you get, you're going to get personal training, right? 3 days a week, you're going to get your personal trainer. And then you're going to get your one-on-one life coaching session, a monthly, one-on-one monthly life coaching session. Depending on what tier you get. One of the tiers, you're going to get everything that's included, but you won't get the monthly one-on-one coaching or the personal training. One of them you'll get everything and the personal training, but not the one-on-one. So whatever tier you want. And then I'm going to have one tier that all it is that you just have access to a community feed. That's it. But you don't have access to the teaching. Because sometimes every tier ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? So if you just want to come in and just get on a group chat, then come on in and get in a group chat. I mean, but I'm going to have, it doesn't matter what tier you is, you're going to have something that's going to help you. And so that's what I have. Like I said, it is up and running right now. I wanted to, no, but hold on. I got something for you. I'm about to talk about the Trinity Owners United, but it's not a talent show. So no, ma'am. So another thing is over there, it's going to be the bomb over there. So listen, if you want to replace your social media, do it and come on over there. So, cause you're going to heal. Now, like I said, I'm doing the founding members and it is up. Oh no, I can't type in there. The founding member will be up and running for, May 18th. That's when I'm opening it up to everyone, right? For the founding members, the first 20 people that come in, you get it at the discounted prices, and that's what you're going to pay for the whole year, every month for the year. That's going to be you. That is my gift to you. Everyone else, the grand opening will be June 1st, okay? June 1st. But like I said, it is up and running, and if you want to go ahead and start now, you can. Just know that it is still going through some changes, so you'll be part of those little changes, things like that. I'm still uploading things on there, but you can get ahead of the game. So it is leadhermovement.mn.co. You can go check it out. It is leadhermovement.mn.co. Now, you can wait till Monday, and because I'm going to add another section on there, but at least you'll have the link, and then wait for me to put the other ones up there. Yeah, because I'm still uploading stuff on there, because the grand opening is on the 18th, so you can just lock in the link, and then once I advertise it, you can come on in, but I got some more tiers to put up. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So yeah, so that's that. Now, with the Trinity Owners United. Trinity Owners United is where I open up my platform every Friday. Every Friday I'm going to teach you a class, right? I'm going to teach that class. Thank you, Deb. I'm going to teach that class. And matter of fact, I usually don't block people, but I'm going to block him because he keep coming in like every day. It's just nonsense. Trinity Owners United is where I open my platform to small content creators and small business owners. And with you small business owners, small content creators, you can showcase your things on my platform. I just introduce you to a new audience. I'm doing a soft launch here because that's something that will be created on the Lead Her movement when I bring business owners together, right? So that'll be something coming down the pipeline. But I just want to introduce it to you guys because the whole purpose of that is to teach people how to, as leaders, teaching other leaders, how to develop other leaders, how to pour into other people without the jealousy because now you promoted that person, they doing better than you. You know what I mean? It's to keep you from putting your feelings involved in it and understanding what true friendship is, what true support is, not the survival mode support. I'm talking about that true support. Like that Jesus and his disciples support, that type of support. I ain't talking about Judas though, but I'm just talking about that support. The beginning stages of that support, right? That's what I want to teach. So that's what I'm going to do every Friday. I'm going to teach a course about, before I open it up, teach you something about, what it means to pay it forward, what it means to help others, things like that. And then I open up the stage, right? Boom. That's how that goes. So that'll be here on TikTok. I'm still playing with the time and what time I should come on. I don't know. So if it's only 10 people in here and you showcasing your stuff, do not beat yourself up and say it's only 10 people. I don't want to do it. No, this is how you build confidence. You build confidence by, doing it. So those 9 people, that's 9 people you don't know. That's 9 people that's interested in your stuff and you don't know them. Think about that. That's 9 people in your car. That is a crowd. So stop it. Don't beat yourself up. Just use it as practice, okay? So that's the Trinity Owners United. I am the founder of that. I am the, listen. We got the Trinity of Fitness Boot Camp. And if you're looking for that, my website to the Trinity of Fitness Boot Camp is tofbootcamp.com. That's where you can book your life coaching session. You can book your, buy your work, purchase your workout program, book your personal training, do all those things over there at tofbootcamp.com. Also, I have under my shop the RPI, which we talked about. It's the reference card. Go ahead, download it. It is free. It is on under my shop. Just download it. Another thing that I have over there under my blogs, I put workbooks and stuff under there. So all you got to do is just download it. I put free stuff over in my blog, so go check it out. But get on a subscriber email list so you will not miss the information that has to be. I sound like Sister Shirley at church giving all the announcements now. So get on the subscriber list. Look, Deb, I'm trying to tell you, right? You are welcome, Matthew. Listen, Deb, listen. I'm going to put it all out there and I'm going to put it in a simple form for y'all. But I just got to explain to y'all what it is. So with the tofbootcamp.com, get on the subscriber list so you won't miss any of the announcement. And I'll also email you your weekly homework assignments. So get on the email list. Now, my podcast is Chat with Coach Nye. Listen, we are about to do another series on there. And this series is going to talk about Jesus' favorite house. I'm teaching you the house Jesus loved is what it's called. And so, no, me, how do you yourself do all this? Deb, baby, all I can explain is this, God. Listen, when you're in purpose, nothing feels heavy. Nothing feels a lot. That's why I say when you focus only on you, it's the moment when I start trying to do it myself, when I get overwhelmed, I'm stressed, I'm like, I can't do that. But when I'm in purpose, God give me just what I need because he carried me through it. That is it, Deb. Listen, it's a testimony, but it's meant so you can see that you can do it. I'm one person and you can do it, okay? You can. And that's how I'm supposed to live my life as an example. But the podcast, go check out my podcast. It's on all platforms. It is on Amazon. It's on Pandora. It is on iHeart. It is on all streaming platforms. It is Chat with Coach Nye. Every Thursday I put out an episode. I put out an episode this week. So next week we'll start The House That Jesus Loved. I'm doing a breakdown teaching of his favorite people. And, where did I come from that? Which is Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. Listen, I did a whole structured breakdown of how are they, their characters. And of course, it was scholars that came up with this. We don't know for sure if this was, but I built the whole story behind it. But inside of that, it teaches you leadership. How did they all stem in their leadership? What was their characteristics? So, yeah, go check it out. Chat with Coach Nye is my podcast. Now, everything I just said, before I get in there, my book, Trinity Walk to Self-Love. It is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart website. Go check it out. And another thing, Deb, is a lot of it was easy for me to do. Thank you, too. A lot of it was easy for me to do because I'm operating from my testimony. I'm creating from my testimony, right? I'm teaching from my testimony, my experiences. So it becomes easy. And I don't try and make everybody happy. I just do it from my testimony, from where I am, and who needs it will show up and I'll find them. I have this 7-day discipline plan challenge here, right? And this is on the blog that I was telling you about in my website, tofbootcamp.com. You can download it. Also, it's the 7-day discipline plan. And I also have a bonus 7-day discipline, the actual plan. And this is the challenge that you're going to have. So go check it out. But it's definitely going to be in the Lead Her Movement network. It's definitely going to be there. Thank you, Matthew. So if you missed anything that I said, please go to my Linktree. The link is in the bio and check out all that because, baby, I done ran it all. So as I said, the most important things to go download right now is my YouTube. Subscribe and hit notification bell so you won't miss my lives over there. It's Chat with Coach Nye. My podcast, so you won't miss any good lessons over there. Chat with Coach Nye. You don't have Is it that you can't find me? Now it's not all together chat with Coach Nye. It's separate. Chat with Coach Nye. What else? My book, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, and Amazon website, tofbootcamp.com. So, listen, I enjoyed you guys. If you missed today's class, go over to YouTube. That's where I'm going to house it at. Yesterday's will be posted today. And, yeah. So, you guys, listen. No one told you today. I'm telling you now. I love you, and I'm so proud of you. I keep forgetting to tell you this. Your first life coaching session until the network get up and running. Your first life coaching session, general life coaching session, 30 minutes is free, but you have to book it under the consultation under my tofbootcamp.com. Listen, I got to go. I got some training to do because I'm working on another workout program. So I love you guys. I love you guys. If no one told you today, I'm telling you now, I love you, and I'm so proud of you. Remember to pour into yourself before you pour into others. All right, Deb. All right, everyone. Y'all have a great day. Thank y'all so much for the likes, shares, and the follows. If you haven't followed, go ahead and follow. Coach Nye out. Oh, Lola, I love you more. Thank you. You know, this thing don't be cutting off. I be trying to have a good exit, and it just be like pause. I be trying to, Coach Nye out, click, and it just don't click. It's just one day.